Before we go over all of this amazing information, I want you to close your eyes and think for a second. I want you to picture what your delete button would look like in your life. Like, say you have, like on a computer file or an Excel spreadsheet, you can delete line by line. You can highlight the whole thing and then hit delete and it's all gone. Or you can pop balloons and that's your delete button. I want you to just picture in your mind, when you delete someone, what does that look like? For me, I feel like it's like having a bunch of penguins on an iceberg. I know it's weird, but stay with me. And all the penguins are my friends. And I just kind of imagine when I delete somebody, boop, I just push them right off the iceberg. They are no longer on my iceberg and they're no longer allowed to come on there and be in my sphere. So that for me is my delete button. Think about what your delete button looks like. Is it like a big red, like boom, just hit and eject that person out of your life? Like, what does it look like? When I share what I'm about to share, I just want you to picture the people in your life that you need to do this for. This is something I wish I knew more in my 20s, and I wish I had exercised it more when I was in my 20s and people were coming in and out of my life all the time. But this thing is called the delete button, and it's something that you really start to learn when you get into your 30s. And it's not the button on your keyboard. It's the button in your mind when you want to delete a toxic person or an ex or just somebody who no longer serves you in your life. So when you're in your 20s, you are collecting experiences, people, memories, relationships, and you kind of start to realize once you get older that not all those people deserve to be in your life. Not all of those people deserve space in your mind or time out of your day to catch up with them. And this may sound harsh, but my point is I have had so many people disappoint and become toxic and completely betray or turn on me. Were there red flags? Probably. But my point is when those people reveal their true colors, that is when you let go. And that is when you finally just release them and you say, you know what? This isn't working out for me. It kind of is like a breakup, like a friendship breakup. When you realize the relationship is doing more damage than it is good, it's time to let go. It doesn't mean you have to have this blowout fight or that you have to be cruel or malicious in any way. There are the type of friendship breakups that you can just stop talking. And you both feel the same way, but nobody wants to say it, and you just leave each other's lives. And I've had this happen so many times where, you hang out with somebody and you just kind of get this feeling of, they always talk about themselves, or, this feels like a very self-serving relationship. It's okay to let go of those. I think one of the main things that happens when you get older in your 30s is you just realize your time is so precious and you don't have an abundant amount of resources and time in your day. You have to work, you have maybe a spouse, maybe you have kids. And even if you don't have those things, you still realize like there is only so much time in the day for you to work on yourself, for you to do the things that you love, and then to add in the people in your life. And if you're just having dead weight hang on and you're keeping relationships up because you just feel obligated to them, stop. Stop doing that. You're wasting your time on somebody that may be an energy vampire, so you might feel more drained after you hang out with them, or every time they text or their name pops up on your phone, you just kind of get that, that person really shouldn't be in your life. And you've got to sit down and audit, like, who is taking up your time. To help you identify 4 types of people that you need to use the delete button for. And immediately. Like, we are no longer letting these people waste our time, and we're no longer feeling obligated to these friendships just because they've been in our life for X amount of years. So the first one we just kind of talked about are the toxic people, the energy vampires. So these are the people that, it's not like people that just go through a hard season and they like need an extra friend during that time. It's the people that you hang out with and you just feel like you need to recharge from that interaction. Or it's the people that just are always asking you for favors but never asking how they can help you and improve your life. Those toxic people, we are deleting them immediately. Okay, the second one are the exes that linger. We don't need exes in our life. And if you're looking for your spouse, I don't know. This is like such a controversial topic. Like, should you be able to be friends with your exes? I think it really depends, okay? It depends on the relationship that you had, how deep it was, and if you had a friendship prior to that. And If there really are no emotional connections, if there are no like romantic emotions involved, then maybe you could be friends. But for the most part, I would say get rid of all your exes. And these are the ones that are sliding into your DMs at 2 o'clock in the morning, or they're the ones that just constantly just kind of breadcrumb you. Just they show up at the most random times. And like if you're finally happy and you're moving on and you're like experiencing a new relationship, and then they call you or text you and kind of sabotage that for you, deleting them right now. Okay, this one's hard. Soul ties. So if you've never heard what a soul tie is, it's basically the relationships that you've had in the past, or the situationships that you've had that you have been intimate with this person, and now you have this soul connection. Intimacy is such a bonding experience, and biblically we shouldn't be doing it outside of marriage. But I'm not perfect. You're not perfect. Nobody is perfect on this earth. These are the people that you've been intimate with that kind of linger in the back of your mind. They're like the almosts, or the one that got away, or the what ifs, or the situationship. Please just use this button in your head and you're just gonna hit delete. Think of it as you are setting yourself free from this relationship to open yourself up to the possibility of what's to come. The fourth one is the obligatory relationships. These are the ones that, like I said earlier, they're friends you've either been friends with for years, so you feel like you can't like cut that relationship. They're the friends that, you're friends with because you're in a book club together and you just sit there and appease them. Those are the biggest time sucker. And, in friendship, you bond with this person and you get something out equally that you give, right? You get like a mutual benefit when you become friends with somebody. And if it feels like a chore, then it's not a good friendship. If you feel like you have to do this because of XYZ, delete, done, get rid of. You'll notice when you start opening up the space and you start getting rid of these 4 types of people in your life, you allow yourself more space to fill the space that is now a void. And it's a beautiful void, because now there are maybe new friendships that can come into your life. Or, that one girl that you met at yoga that you think is super cool, go ask her for coffee. There are endless amounts of ways to actually meet people and to curate a good relationship, but the really good friendships are few and far in between. And reality is I have like 1 to 2 really solid girlfriends that I know are going to be there till the day I die. One of them I've known since I was 5 years old. What's up, Aberdeen? But it just goes to show that you don't need 1,000 relationships in your life to feel love, to feel cherished, to feel fulfilled. You need like maybe 2 really ride or die, solid, beautiful friends to do life with. So why does all of this get easier in your 30s versus your 20s? Life experience is number 1. You start to realize that, you don't have time. Like I said, you don't have time to be appeasing, to be walking on eggshells, to be worried about what other people think. You have more self-awareness. You know yourself better, you understand what your needs are, and you understand when those are not getting met. You're more confident in who you are. You're not afraid to bring up something that bothered you. And another caveat is the friendships. If you feel some type of way and you just feel like you need to bring something up, they did something or they said something that really got under your skin, if you bring that up to them and they respond in a way of like either deflection, or then they bring up something that pissed them off about you, like if they respond in an immature way, I don't know if that's a really good friend. If they can't hold the space and be like, dude, I'm sorry, like I didn't realize that's how you felt. I will pay attention more next time to how I'm portraying myself, or, but I really appreciate you sharing this with me and I'm glad that we can move past this. That's a good friend. That is somebody that has emotional intelligence, emotional maturity, somebody that is able to have conflict resolution, and that is rare because we're not taught these things when we're children growing up. These are things that we should have been taught when we were in middle school, how to have conflict resolution, how to have an argument, a respectful argument, how to share and express how you feel or what somebody did that made you feel a certain way. Your feelings are a responsibility, right? Managing them, figuring them out, sifting through them, like that is not for somebody else to figure out for you. But you can walk up to a friend and say, hey, when you did this, I felt this way, and I just wanted to bring awareness to that. And again, just see how they respond. 9 times out of 10, they might get defensive because, people don't like confrontation. I also hate confrontation. But if I'm gonna have really good friends, people that I keep close to my heart in my life, then they're gonna know exactly how I feel, and I wanna know how they feel. I want to be able to move past problems and figure things out and not just sweep things under a rug to where it becomes so big that the rug isn't even on the floor anymore. You know what I mean? So this is where the beauty happens, is when you are able to express how you feel to somebody and they receive it well. There are 4 ways to really use the delete button. The first one is the fade out, which we already mentioned. You just slowly stop communication, and if they don't reach out to you, then you kind of know it wasn't meant to be. The second one is the honest conversation, just saying, hey, I valued our time together, but really, I don't think that we can move forward in our friendship. And I've had a few of these, and they're really hard. It's kind of a nice breakup. It's like, okay, you know where your place is, I know where my place is, and we're no longer gonna be in each other's lives. The third one is the clean break, and this is really where the delete button comes into play. This is where somebody really toxic did you wrong. You just delete everything about them, pictures, their contact, their Instagram, block them on everything, and just go ghost, just fade away. That helps because no contact, the longer you have no contact, the easier it is to let go of that person. And then the refined boundary. So maybe someone is in your life and they're a little bit too close for comfort, or maybe they meddle a little bit in your life. You can just have better boundaries, and when they want to do something, or if they're showing up on your doorstep unannounced, you can tell them hey, I can't hang out with you. That's not cool. I have all these things. So please stop showing up on my doorstep. Knowing what friend to put in what box, and you use your intuition and your guidance. But like I said, friendship breakups, using the delete button doesn't have to be some horrible, bad experience. It's just part of life. And the sooner that you understand this, the sooner that you take action and you understand our time is limited, the better your life is going to be, the better and more rich your experiences and your relationships are going to be. And you'll notice, when you let go of things that you've been holding on a little bit too long, other new things start to grow up. Or when you trim a rose bush because all of the roses are, wilting, and you completely cut it back, it grows back twice as big. That's the same thing in life with relationships. If you cut the dead weight, you get something back so abundant and so beautiful, and people walk into your life you couldn't even dream of. So this is really exciting. I hope that you take action on this. Realize that after you delete someone, something beautiful grows in place of that. The delete button isn't about becoming isolated or burning bridges. It's just about having more intentional relationships in your life. And if you're in your 20s, I really hope that you take this advice and you start auditing your own life and who's in your life, and having these conversations with these people, because they could be lingering for years and you not know what to do or how to deal with that type of relationship. And if you're in your 30s and beyond, it's never too late to learn this delete method, to learn how to characterize people in your life, to have better boundaries. It's all part of life, and just having that self-worth and knowing that your time is precious and beautiful, and so is theirs. So if the relationship's not serving either one of you, then what are you doing? You know what I mean? If this video helped, go ahead and subscribe, and then drop a comment what you're dealing with, who you want to give up in your life. Or is there any lingering exes that you have? If there's somebody that pops into your head while I was talking, you've got to go talk to that person and then kind of assess where they belong in your life. But again, I really appreciate our time together, and I hope this helped. So I hope you have a great day, and I'll catch you guys later.